No, what the ruling says is that people serving whole life sentences should have their sentence reviewed at some point in the future. The European Court were very careful to say it's not a decision about whether to release people, it's a decision that says look at these cases again at a future point. It's important to remember that it was always the case that people who received these sentences in the past did have a right of review built in. It's also the case that every other country in Europe allows these sentences to be reviewed in the future. I mean, in fact, very few countries have these sentences, but those that do allow a future review. And it goes to the very principle of what sentences are for. Sentences aren't wholly punitive. They have many elements in them, and punishment is one, but they also include the issues of reform and rehabilitation. And the European Court has said that any sentence which is purely about punishment is unlawful. I don't think it's necessarily helpful to set up an opposition between the victims and these people. Certainly, victims have their rights protected through the criminal justice system itself. But what we have to do is we have to make sure that the criminal justice system accords with international human rights standards. And what the European Court has said is that this is one of the international human rights standards that exists.